This lesson is on debugging techniques. This is our fourth part of debugging, and I've introduced some errors into a program that we've seen in a previous lesson, and I'll try to step through the code in such a way to help you know how to find these kinds of errors and correct them. All right, this is the find text within a file type form we had before, and I'm going to look for a city, and I'll just pick Tomsville. I'll copy and paste that in here, and I'll hit the submit button. So I hit the submit button, and I'm waiting, and I notice up here I've got connecting, it's going in a circle, and nothing's coming back. If you get really stuck in this position, you may have to do Control-Alt-Delete if you're on a PC to end the process. I'm going to just click that and stop it. Now, the first thing that I suspect is that I have an infinite loop. But there can be other problems that can cause the thing to clock like that and never come back. And right now, I don't know what it is. So let's go see if we can figure that out. I'm going to go to the code. This is the HTML. I am calling the right program, Debugging Techniques 4. And I'm going to go up to the top here a little bit and just look around. And I never did get this find city. I didn't even get that. I just clocked. So I'm going to just take the long way here and I'm going to exit. I'm just going to exit right here and see if I can get out. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to end the page cleanly, so I'm going to put a \body and \HTML. So right after that, I'll exit, and we'll just see if we get a response. Make sure we're getting hooked up at all. So I've saved that. Let me come back to the form. Let me hit it now. Okay, find C Tomsville. No problem there. So that works. Let's go back to the code. And maybe we want to go a little farther. I'm going to cut these lines out. I'm hitting Control-X on a PC. Now here's one place I could have a loop. I'm looking at a directory handle. And here's a sort. Let's go down, and I'm going to put it right before the sort. And I want to print something else to make sure that I got to this point. One thing we do with these extra print statements is they help us follow the flow and control of our program to see if we're getting to where we think we want to get or where we should be getting. Sometimes we show variable values along the way as well. Here I just want a marker to see if I get there. And one good habit is to put a break in there to make sure that everything doesn't appear on the same line. So let's go ahead, back to the form, and we'll try this out. Submit information, find Tomsville here. Okay, I got farther in the process. I'm going to cut these lines out. I assume the sort's working. I've got another for each loop here, and a for each loop ought not cause an infinite loop in itself because it's going to go through the array one element at a time. At least I think so. So let's try getting this far where I get the files. And I'm looking at the index files as well. So here's where I open the file on the housing index. We did this before. So let's see what we've got here. Let me go ahead, even before that, I'm going to put this information put here, and I want to make sure that I get just the first call to this function. So instead of here, I'm actually going to put these variables in here, element and find city, and I should see that stuff. So let's go ahead and give that a quick whirl. So go back, I hit that. Okay, I've got some kind of error. Ooh, what does that say? Undefined variable. LMNT, that doesn't sound right. Let's look at line 54. Line 54. I have element here, and that's what I thought I was looking for, but what does it say about element? 54? That's up here somewhere. Display property info. Oh, look at that. ELEMENT. I left an E out of that. So for some reason, I had to go through and I had to make this first call, and it was causing some sort of loop when I had that before. How interesting. Let's get that corrected, because there's nothing in here. See, it's bringing back ELEMENT, but I misspelled it here, so that's not good. Let's go back. Hit it again. Okay, we got the first file. I got Tomsville, so that's good. So let me just take this code out completely. I cut that out. It's in my clipboard, and I'm going to try running again and see if we get any farther. Uh-oh, I got the clock again. I don't like that. So I'm going to stop it again, and we have some other problem somewhere else. So I'm going to go farther down. Let's see. I'll just put it here and see what we get. So I don't want to see element and find city again. I'm pretty sure that those are all right. Let's try index file name. and see what that looks like. We'll put that in there, and I'll leave the element there. And line that up a little bit nicer. And we'll try again. Okay, I'm getting that far okay. I'm just kind of stepping through the code. I don't see anything yet. So maybe this really is an infinite loop. I have another loop down here. So I'm going down and I'm getting the city. Okay, then let's go down here and try this. Again, line it up a little bit better than this. And I'll look at line and just see what we're getting. Oops, I got $2. We don't want that. I'll look at line and we'll try that. Okay, go back, run it. Uh-oh, we got errors. Okay, line 79, it says open houses index bayview1.txt. Failed open. It doesn't say .txt, it says .text. So that's not what we want. If we went back and looked at the file structure, we wouldn't see any files of that name. So I've made some kind of problem somewhere. Let's see, where did I do it? Oh, all the way up here. Here's where we did the string replace. I want to change the JPEGs to .txt, not text. It's an easy mistake to make because we think of it as text. Okay, let's go back and run it again. Okay, we got farther. We didn't blow up. Okay, I'm going to take that code out now and see if the program actually runs. Let me put this back into the clipboard, save the file, back to the form. Let me get back to the local host. All right, let's get back and try this again. I'll put in Tom. Okay, I've got houses coming here. I've got some prices. I've got the CFC stuff. That looks kind of strange, doesn't it, here? What is all that about? CFC, here, here. All right, let's go see. That's not quite what I want to see, is it? So let's go see what that's about. Did I have a here? Let's go take a look. I'm going to do an F5 in TextPad and say here. Okay, there's a here. Okay, let's get rid of that. We don't need that. Okay. And I have some code that was there from before. CFC. Let's take that code out. Let's see what we get when we do this. Go back. Tom. Okay, everything's coming out well. Okay, so that's a couple of debugging techniques where you looked at values and looked at flow using extra print statements. One other thing that's very handy to remember is in some cases, if things don't seem to be formatted correctly, remember that you've got view page source available. And you can look at what HTML was generated. In this case, the HTML is okay. But that's a very good technique to remember because it can help you find problems. This ends our lesson on finding text within file with debugging.